We're going to run all the way up that hill, just like somebody else that's running all the time. We're talking about The Flash, everybody. And that leads me to our featured story of the night. Let's get it. All right, everybody, it's time for some very much open spoilers on The Flash, because The Flash is finally out, and we've been talking about on the program multiple times, especially with Sean here, waiting to see The Flash. June couldn't come soon enough, and The Flash came out, and as we talked about on Wednesday, how did it do? Well, not as good as people thought it was going to do, because it was projected about 85 million in the U.S., made 55. They were hoping for to break it at 200 million over the whole weekend, and they only got 138 million. Globally over the whole world. I mean, 75 overseas, 55 here. It's not that great for this franchise. People, of course, are boycotting it because of Ezra Miller, or they're also boycotting because they're saying, well, this isn't going anywhere. This franchise is dead, so why are we going to do it? They might be boycotting it because of Clooney. Who knows? But this is out. It's out there, and honestly, overall, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I feel like people are trashing it hardcore about the CG, and I think the CG is okay. I mean, of course, sometimes I'm like, oh, okay, it could have been a little better. But overall, the CG babies were okay with me. I was fine with it. Whatever. It was a funny sequence. It was fun.
There was a reason. There was a reason they didn't make those babies look too realistic. I have a feeling.
You're right, Mike. There's totally a reason. But people were just trashing on that. I think the overall, Ezra did a great job playing multiple parts. I think that definitely shown in the movie to me. Bat Keaton killing it. I did laugh how they had this whole sequence in there, as we were seeing, where you first see Batman, but he's got the long hair and they're covering his face and he's doing the whole fight thing, meant to be a reveal. But of course, with the Ezra stuff, I think they let that cat the bag because of it, so it didn't really have as powerful of a reveal as it could have if you didn't know he was in the movie. And the same thing with Supergirl was the same thing. Like, they were leading up to be Superman. He thought it was going to be Henry Cavill, and we already knew it wasn't going to be him, So I think that kind of took some. He got the shaft. He did bad, I'm like, poor Henry Cavill after I left that movie. Yeah, BSP, I liked it too. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun, And I just thought, I wish we had a Reverse Flash, though. I was hoping for Reverse Flash. We got Savitar instead. And that worked, it's kind of falling into that lore anyways. But overall, I think, yeah, I mean, Savitar is supposed to be like the evil version of Barry Allen. That's just what it is, it's and that's what it was. That's what it became, he's trying to change the timeline
like a really sad guy who wanted to fix the universe that he was trying to fix. I mean, it wasn't villainous.
Usually Savitar is much more villainous than he was in this, but overall, it was fun. I want to get to everybody on this. Like, Sabrina, you saw this. What do you think? What's your initial thoughts on the Flash movie? Did you enjoy it? Or are you like everybody out there that's hating on it and wishing that they never made this movie?
I talked about this a little bit on Monday, and I do want to talk about it, but I want you to go to Mike or Sean first.
Okay, let's go to Sean. Sean, what do you think? We've been talking about this forever. What do you think about Bat Keaton being back? He put the nose goes up. He's gay, but I'm going. Okay, you mean to go with somebody else? Is that what you want?
No. Please go ahead.
Oh,
all right. What do you think? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you?
How much time am I going to get here?
We're at a feature story.
How nerdy do I need to get
time
here? If
get
I
nerdy
got
as hell,
time.
man.
Okay. Fine movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it delivered in terms of a good story, an interesting take on the character, plenty of fan service. We got to see Nick Cage as Superman. We got to see Jay Garrick. We got to see Batfleck and Bat Keaton. We got to see Gal Gadot just show up with the Hans Zimmer, score, and that was great. I think this movie could have been so much better, though. It was hamstrung on a couple points here, and I'll be very quick with this. The CG for me was fine in some points, like very uncanny valley and very like unwatchable in most points. When he's in that, yes, just bear with me here for a second.
Oh, I am. I'm just shocked.
When he's in the Chrono Bowl and, you're seeing this, I like to think of it as like a zoetrope. It looked like he was surrounded by a thing. Like, I thought it was a zoetrope. That thing and the way it was kind of going backwards and forwards, I thought was a really interesting way of explaining how time travel would work, since time doesn't exist in the Chrono Bowl, but he could see it on the inside and the outside. but there were so many times where it's Barry and young Barry next to him, and the face is just plastic as all hell, and I was very disappointed in that. Let's talk about the ending. Let's just go to that ending. What the fuck was that ending? I know that it was the third version of the ending.
Yep.
I know that they shot an original ending that had Michael Keaton
Cavill.
in it, had Supergirl, had Cavill, had Gal Gadot.
Had Wonder Woman.
Exactly. It had that whole thing in it. And I think, from what I read, like, James Gunn was like, why the hell would they show up? They're not going to be back here. Forget it. Let's just throw in Clooney as this nice little thing. Clooney got to see the movie. And then, let's put Clooney at the end. I think also this movie would have done better if it wasn't it was overhyped. It was so overhyped. It was touted as the end of the DCEU under Zack Snyder and under this whole thing. Like, it really wasn't that. It was a nice introduction of different kind of ways that you could bring in multiverses. And again, showing the idea of that one change. We still don't know who the fuck killed her mom or killed his mom.
Nope.
I don't know why they made him Hispanic as well. That was really weird. You took all the good characteristics of the second Flash, Wally West, and you gave them to Barry, and Barry didn't deserve that because Wally West is a superior Flash in every sense of the word. You can go ahead. I'm just getting more nerdy on this one. I don't know. Go ahead, and I'll think of more stuff. But I hated the ending. I hated the after credit scene. What the fuck was that?
What was the point of it? There's no point
of that. I get it. Jason Momoa is a big, sexy, big bear of a man, and we're just gonna make him fall in some water.
And an alcoholic.
And an alcoholic. Fantastic. Good for you, Jason Momoa. I didn't need to wait for the credits to see that. I was very disappointed in that.
I think they were hyping their next movie, which is Aquaman. Like, it was
here's a reminder, everybody. Aquaman's coming out. Let's give two shits about that, I guess. And then the tooth falls out, and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious. No, it's not. It really, listen, if they had not done the things that they'd done or the things that they are purported to have done, and you could have really focused on the Flash and didn't, blow the whole thing about Keaton being so central to this movie, and you didn't blow the whole thing of Supergirl. Yes, some of these things had to be teased. Some of these things had to be, but you didn't need to show it up front in these trailers.
Yeah.
And it just kept getting so much more. And I know I'm going off on a soapbox here, so sorry for your editing later. But what's the other thing? Like, great. Tom Cruise loved it. Fantastic. James Gunn said he thought it was the best thing ever. Way to fucking go, James. You blew it. Like that was like just it doesn't leave me with a lot of confidence that the DC universe is in good hands if you think that was the best thing to come out of this franchise. The other thing I want to mention, and then I'm done because I do want other people's thoughts, and this is not just my show. Would this, and I do believe this would have made a much better movie had it actually come out when it was supposed to originally have come out in the sequence of movies. If we have gotten this before that Wonder Woman 84 or even Batman v Super, or not Batman v Superman, but you know what I mean? Like, if this had come out the 6 or so years previous that this was supposed to come out about, like, this would have been so much better. I think it would have fit in and tied in a nice little bow, just everything. But no, we didn't get that. We'll never get that Flash movie. And I don't know who killed Nora Allen, and Wally West is the best Flash.
Apparently, though, as long as you got that tomato sauce, it didn't matter that person wasn't going to kill his mom then, right? The tomato sauce.
Oh, the tomato sauce. Oh, also, here's the one other thing. Sorry, one other thing. He goes through this whole thing about like, oh, one change. Look at all these things are changed. All these things are terrible. I got to go back. I gotta fix this. Goes back and fixes it. Like, what if I do it again though? What if I just do it again one time
and save my dad?
You didn't learn a fucking lesson? Like, what the hell was that about? Okay. All right.
Oh, I agree. I mean, when he did that whole changing.
The other one, to be fair, the other one went back the next time. Like, he went back the first time, and then the young him went back, and you know what I mean. Like it was, he tried to get him not to go back, but he went anyway because
No, but in the end, he still went,
just
like,
got powers and thought he could fix things, and then they had to kind of fix things together. Mike, let me know what you think.
yeah, but he still moved that the cans of tomato to the top shelf. He did that. So he did that after he knew that his dad would look up and then he would save him and then he would get off and that would, break the case. But Mike, okay, how do you feel? Do you feel that passionate about this movie? You saw it over the weekend. Did you enjoy it? Are you mad about a lot of things that happened? Do you like Bat Clooney being back? What's your takes on
He's not as mad as
new
Sean
Fresh?
is, I'll tell you that much.
He's not back. No one's coming back. This is it.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing, though. People are already going online going like, well, does that mean in the Batman, the Brave and the Bold, it's going to be Clooney?
No. No.
I don't think so either.
No.
But
James Gunn said no on Twitter.
he also said that he wasn't going to be in this movie, though, too. He said he will not be in this movie. There's no way, no how that Clooney would be in this movie, and Clooney was in that movie. He said it multiple times. So, I don't know. Mike, what's your take?
Okay, so one thing I like is when Sean gets up on his soapbox. I don't know if you can see, my eyes are a little shiny from tears. I was enjoying that, Sean. And I for one, as for my small part of this show, welcome that. So please, anytime.
Me
as
too.
far as this,
Love
as
it.
far as the movie goes, I came out of the theater simply infuriated because I was looking at Michael Keaton saying, did Batman come out 34 years ago? What gives you the goddamn right to look so good, Michael Keaton? I'm gonna look like I'm gonna look like Clayface from Batman when I'm his age. It makes me mad. He looked terrific. He was still pulling off the Batman vibe like a mofo. I loved it. As far as the rest of the movie goes, I liked it, which oftentimes when I go into a movie expecting that I'll like it, I suffer from high expectations and then I come out not liking it. Whereas if I go into a movie thinking that, oh, it's just going to be some bullshit, I'll be pleasantly surprised a lot of time. Here, I thought it was going to be good and I enjoyed it. I like to have, even with the DC multiverse is obviously very different from the Marvel universe. I like the fact that it had a streamlined story that allows me to take the little, 5-10 minute nap that I like to take in the middle, and then when I come back, I'm not completely lost. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what's happening because it's still happening. Or more importantly, I don't feel like I need to watch 6 different TV shows and catch up on what's going on all the streaming services in order to squeeze every bit of juice out of the plot. I had no problem with the CG at all. Maybe because I have the capability of suspending my disbelief because it is a fucking cartoon, because none of this bullshit is real. Yeah, I enjoyed myself. It was no massive artistic statement, and I do think it was definitely overhyped.
Yes.
Sean, I do share your sentiment about the Chrono Bowl. Zoetrope, 100%. That's what they were going for. And it was an effective, just kind of aesthetically, conceptually for what they were trying to do. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, I think that was overall, the Chrono Bowl thing was so weird. It was so weird. I mean, just the name of it in general, I was like, what? That's what they're going to call this? But, overall, I think it's a good idea, the concept of it, because how do you show him traveling through time and showing all the different options and how the universe spans off? And I thought that was kind of fun to show it that way. What about the Uncanny Valley stuff? I know, Sean was talking about that. I'm like, do you think the CG was really bad for that? Should they have used footage from the original movies in there, or was it okay? Were you even I love Nick Cage being this, and that was great with the giant spider. That shit was hilarious because that was it goes back to the Superman Lives thing where Kevin Smith was writing it, and he said that they wanted a giant metal spider in it, and he's like, I'm not putting a fucking spider in this movie. So then you have Nick Cage kill a spider in this, which is good. But again, it looked like he was CG as opposed to actually being Nick Cage, and we know he's shot for this movie. Where's his line? Give him a line.
It's a cartoon. Who cares?
Another thing I wanted to bring up, and sorry, would this have been such a flop, if you want to call it a flop, or had we be having these issues had Spider-Man Across the Multiverse not come out so close to it and show us what it looks like when people are looking into another multiverse and using real footage from other Spider-Man movies, a live action Donald Glover, like having that stuff there, and then seeing DC's take on it being completely in CG.
Which
Did
which
that
one
mess with our exceptions?
which
Or
one did you
our
see? Which one did you see first, Sean? Because because I haven't seen the new Spider-Man, but my wife saw the Spider-Man movie the day after we saw The Flash, and like her vibe coming out of Spider-Man was like, "Oh my God, I'm so happy that we saw The Flash first." Because if I would have seen Spider-Man first, I would have been like, "This is trash. I'm not interested in this at
Well,
all."
Mike, if you have to guess, which one do you think I saw first?
I think it's what I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that explains
it
it.
is. I saw Spider-Man first. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sabrina, are you that like crazy about this? I know we talked about it a little bit on the show so far, but now we can actually talk spoilers. So, what are you thinking? What are your thoughts? Like compared to on a scale of Sean to Mike, where do you land in here?
I feel like I land closer to Mike, to be honest.
Mike,
And you know why, Sean? Sean, this is why you're upset. And Mike explained it very perfectly. When you go in with such high expectations, like June can't come soon enough, then there's always going to be a problem. You can't
Yep.
you can't undo that in your brain. Now, as everyone knows, you especially, I did not think that June couldn't come soon enough, and I, could care less to go to it on opening night, but I did for the show, not because I couldn't wait to see the Flash.
Well, it's a write-off then.
Well,
Yep.
any movie's a write-off in my industry, babe. So. But like I don't know. I was I didn't really have any expectations, which is probably why I enjoyed it as much as I did. I know that DC is historically not as good as Marvel, although I did not particularly care for Marvel for a long. This wasn't really my bag, if I'm being perfectly honest. Over time, just like Star Wars has grown on me, this type of shit has grown on me. I have a huge problem with the suspension of disbelief, Mike, which you were speaking of. And I feel like I've in my older and wiser years, I've been able to do that much more than I was when I was younger, where I was like, this is bullshit. That's unrealistic.
Don't have
and I
the
don't wanna
energy
see it."
the energy to care quite as much as maybe you once
Exactly.
did, right? Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. That being said, as like watching Michael Keaton as Batman when I was, younger, it was amazing to see him show up and kick ass again. Brian, like you said, I was super pissed that they were trying to pretend it wasn't him. I'm like, dude, we all know
Yeah,
it's
I
Michael
know
fucking
because
Keaton. Like, I don't know why you're being weird about that. That was kind of annoying. The cone of silence. What were you calling that fucking thing? What did they call it? The
Chronodome?
Chronoball,
yeah,
that's what
thank you.
now I'm saying
The
Chronodome.
There's a cone of silence in some movie. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, that was my poor attempt at a joke. I had no problem with that. I had no problem with it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, wait, no, he's trying to jump out here. It wasn't enough to agitate me, and the CG certainly didn't agitate me. I'm glad the babies didn't look more realistic because that was terrifying. The
that
dog
would have been
was
upsetting.
hilarious.
I want to make it very clear. I did not want to see acid sprayed on a real baby. I am
or a
completely.
baby in a microwave.
If
No,
Tom Cruise
again-
had been playing one of those babies, he would have been in there getting the acid spray.
I'm sorry.
They would have put
He would have
Tom
ran
Cruise
like
right
that,
in the
though.
around the
microwave.
tray in the microwave, getting his workout in.
In my movie theater, Ezra putting the baby in the microwave, there was a gasp. I was like,
Really?
oh no, like this is problematic.
Well earned.
What are we
Yeah.
doing
I
here?
gasped.
Yeah.
I gasped.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, he's putting the baby in the microwave!" Like that was something that did happen for me too. It wasn't enough to.
Controversial.
It is
It
a little
didn't bother
controversial.
me.
What I liked is the fact that they went back and explained why he had to do that, though, as he was telling young Barry. It was, this is likely the closest we'll ever get to a true origin story for Flash in a movie, period, I think. Like, I don't think we're going to get to see this again. Like, I thought that was really well done. And just the explanation and watching him slow, he doesn't have the speed anymore, and he's doing
The
this.
ballet.
Squeaking.
We
He's
did this the
squeaking
other
around
day.
the state. Like, that was hilarious. But there were great points in the movie. It just
They did a
just
really great job, though. I really
Yeah.
think Ezra Miller did a really good job.
absolutely.
Really?
And I think Michael Keaton did a great job. I think Ben Affleck did a great job. I think I think the
the cast was
acting
wonderful. Yeah,
was
they,
great.
Casting's great.
we
And
were
I
not we
think
were
the
not let
directing
down
was
by the
also really
casting.
good.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, I'm saying like the cast didn't let us down. The movie itself, like the plot was fine. Like I think that there are just a few stylistic choice in the CG that I just kind of took it out for me.
The
I
whole
enjoyed it. I didn't hate it, but I enjoyed it.
right.
Yeah,
The whole
Muschietti did a
ending
great job
thing
directing,
is
I think, though.
yeah, he did a great job.
absolutely. I'm
I liked his
very
little
very
cameo
much.
at the end with the hot
Yep.
dog, which was like a throwback to the Justice League hot dog situation, which I thought was cool.
Yeah,
I think he knows
like
how
there
to
was-
shoot Batman too. I think he knows how
Yeah.
to shoot Batman. That was my big thing that came from this.
Oh, Supergirl. Nobody mentioned Supergirl yet.
She
She was
was
fantastic.
subpar emo
She was
cranky.
fantastic. I love
I
that
mean,
Supergirl.
everyone
She
loved
didn't-
her so much, but she really
she was-
didn't do much.
She wasn't
No,
needed. She wasn't needed at all.
Yeah, so a little
Well,
superfluous.
if you're gonna have Kryptonians, you gotta have a Kryptonian go up
Yeah.
against them. That's just
I didn't
sorry,
need to
that's just
watch
the
her
rule.
die 30 times. I'll tell you that much. And also, like, she just was there. Like, I said this. I don't know if I said this on Monday, but I have said this like since I've seen it to a few people. She reminded me of the chick in Deadpool, like that Negasonic teenage,
Teenage
cranky
Warhead.
bitch. Who? Thank you,
Yeah.
Warhead. I call her cranky bitch. Is that? But she just was like emo, cranky. Like, I'm here and I'm gonna do some stuff and then I'm gonna leave, and then you know what I mean. Like, everyone was like raving about her, and I'm not saying
Well-
she did a bad job, but like it wasn't like a standout thing. But see, that's where expectations come in. I was expecting her to be fucking spectacular because everyone was like
Yes.
Sasha Kelly, and then I
Yeah.
showed up and I'm like, she's just there. She's there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
She
fine with it. She's
definitely
there.
she definitely got the short end of the stick, and I think
Yeah.
we could have
Well,
knew that was
Henry
going to happen.
Cavill got the short end of the stick. She got like the second
Okay.
to last short end of the stick.
We got to see the back of Henry Cavill's head. That's fine. It's better than a headless Superman and Shazam, but whatever. But like you knew based on how they were marketing this movie that it was going to be Ezra Miller and a very close second with Michael Keaton, and Supergirl was going to be in it. That's all we kind of knew.
Yeah.
Like, and it was very clear that the movie was built to highlight those two characters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Michael
and-
Keaton. Oh, it was a good
Yeah.
send off for him too. A good send off though, because
He was
after
great.
it's all
He
said and
was-
done, he was supposed to do more, but there was a good way of just being like, he's done. That's
Yeah.
that era's closed. His whole world was bound to get destroyed by Zod. That was it, and there was no way of stopping it. He had to be Batman one last time, and that was it, and he kicked
Yeah.
some ass. That
And
fight
all
scene in the
of those
tunnel with him
years
was my
later-
favorite.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Him in the tunnel?
he
So
was
good.
using his cape as a bulletproof vest. Like that was amazing.
Yeah.
And my favorite scene, one of my favorite scenes in the movies, is the close up is on the cowl on the ground. There's blood. He's in the mirror. He's starting, and he kind of looks at himself, and he just goes, he's got a little smirk on him, and I was just like,
Yeah.
damn it, like
Yeah.
he was
Michael
missing
Keaton.
it. Like I loved it, and it would have
He
been
was-
really awesome to see again the original plans of the DCU, like him show up in Batgirl, him be the main focus in Batman Beyond. Now neither of those two things are going to happen, and yeah, this is it. So
That's
This is
part
it.
of the problem too, though, is like the ending, like they changed the ending to suit the future of the DC universe because these characters aren't coming back. And like
Yeah.
with regards to what you said about the post-credit scene, how are they supposed to have a foreshadowing post-credit scene when there's nothing to fucking foreshadow? Which is, in my guess, why they had Jason Momoa just be drunk and fall in a fucking puddle. Like, because what else are they like? You can't show people who you haven't cast yet for things that like haven't come to pass. Like all you can do is foreshadow the only thing that you have coming, which is Aquaman, Like
And I
it's
did hear
not-
they shot a scene with Ben Affleck. They did shoot a scene with Ben Affleck, I heard, where he like was coming to Barry at the very end. It was supposed to be the very end post credits because he's gone from this universe, like having that, help me come back kind of deal. You know what I mean? But they,
right, but
again,
that's not going to happen.
there's
so
no
why
point for that.
bother?
Yep.
there's no
You
point for
know?
any of that. They cut the Superman at the end of the trial, after the trial, cut all that,
It's
There
weirdly
was-
reminiscent of Brett Goldstein with Hercules at the end of Thor.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
wait, is there going to be more Thor? Is there not going to be more? Like, I'm not really sure why
Well,
you're teasing
at
me
least
with
that's
this
up
because
in
it
the
doesn't
air.
exist.
This is 100% not.
This
You know
is
what I mean? This
100%
is
done, yeah.
yeah.
Like to me,
Yeah, that's
like,
it.
well, I actually there
But
was
Momoa isn't 100% done. I'm so sorry, Sean. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No,
like
you're good,
that,
you're good.
I think that's why they chose to do Momoa instead of having Ben
No.
Affleck come back or whatever. You know what I mean? Like at least that's Aquaman is happening. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's why they went with that.
and there's some rumors of what Snyderverse, version of the heroes are going to appear in that one. Like there were some notes that I heard of people seeing the Flash. I think it was at CinemaCon or something like that. But the ending actually was Bruce Wayne pulling up in the car. You see a foot, and then Barry Allen like reacts and is like, "Who the hell are you?" And then it cuts to black.
Cut.
And like
I would have liked that.
I would have liked that too.
Yep.
Again, just leaving it open ended would have been a much better thing.
I
for
was
me, but,
aggravated that George Clooney showed up, to be perfectly honest.
I knew he was going to be there. I knew it.
Why?
As soon as that car pulled, I go,
How'd you know
Clooney.
that?
I knew it. I've been hearing it over and over online that he was going to be in this shit.
Times, and I was like, George Clooney's not going to be in the movie. It's ridiculous.
There were reshoots in January or February happening on this. I remember when that was happening. We talked about it on the show. It was like January or February, and I was like, I'm guessing they're changing the ending. And I thought, and maybe it's going to be kind for Clooney. I said it multiple times. And I also read online that he was like, multiple reports, but he might be in this. And I'm like, it made sense because of the way they were doing it, but I do like not showing him. I mean, because honestly, to get Clooney to come back.
Can we get like a Muschietti cut where we can see the actual ending the way it was supposed to be?
Yeah, right now you're never gonna see it. You're
never
gonna
see that. You think James Gunn is gonna let a Muschietti cut of Flash come out? Fuck no. There's no way.
Especially not after this weekend. But again, like I said on Wednesday, it's a bad opening weekend. It just is. It's a horrible for like a $210 million movie, $100 million marketing. You got $310 million out there. You made 138. Not a good opening. But there are movies that did just about the same amount that went on to make lots of money. Ant-Man, the very first one.
The numbers will
Ant-Man, the very first one. Aquaman is another big one. Word of mouth got people out, but the word of mouth was good for that. The word of mouth for this is not good. So I do not expect it to make great money. I've heard that it's going to go to streaming very fast. It's one of those things like Shazam happened.
See, that's
you think about it, Shazam probably did better than this because Shazam it was like $110 million budget. And so to get their money back, they made their money back. This might never make its money back, but there is a second script written, and WB did want to do another one if this made its money back, they said. I don't think it's going to happen. I think that's it. You know what? At least Batman got one last day to shine. That's all I can say. Good for you, Keaton. Kicking ass like always, and you still make me go, hell yeah, great Batman.